Welcome to this session that we have planned with you. It's a skill story that we are capturing by talking to you as the principal of Vaksha. And this is a very important interview for us as NSN because I think for the first time we are featuring a course, rather courses which are being offered at the higher education level from the skilling perspective, from the work integrated learning perspective. So
Yeah,
welcome, sir. For all the audience of NSN today, it's a privilege to have Mr. Thiru, and he's also popularly known as Chef Thiru.
thank
Uh,
you, ma'am.
Thirugnana Sambandham is his
Yes,
full name.
but little difficult to pronounce it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We have him here today with us for a lively session on understanding how Vaksha is taking forward this journey of attracting youth to culinary arts, to hotel management and administration, and various other related disciplines through courses at the graduation and post graduation level. So let's get started. Please tell us about how the institute is faring today amid the coronavirus pandemic and all the challenges that you're facing.
yes. Ever since this lockdown announced from March, nobody has predicted that, the institution is going to close for across the globe. Almost, it's 8 months now.
Mm.
But Vaksha has no excuse for that. Now, to give you background, how we have taken this challenge and how with our stakeholders we are able to convince them and we work together. So just to give a bit of little background about it, then when the lockdown is announced, what do I call it, from offline to online, it's something which we never thought of it. But however, there was what do I call this online teaching and learning. There's a crisis for Panesia that we didn't have any other option, so we have to move on to online. So first couple of weeks, that 15 days when the lockdown announced, everybody was at home, and then I just started thinking that how are we going to manage, because that point of time no one knows how long it's going to be. So then I had taken, I've addressed this, issue to leadership team. Then we got faculty trained for, how to get used to that online teaching. Then we all got into training of MS Teams. So then we got into training, and then I had meeting with my student council, because they are representative of on board 1,400 students, put together all 5 programs. So I had chat with them, and I told them that look, yeah, we are going to move on online teaching. This is how we are going to go ahead with that. So there will be initial teething problems, and but however we have to move. And what I was telling them that we all have to ready for this unprecedented time, because we cannot waste time, and we have to go ahead. And then of course whatever which shortfall, we will look into that and we will address that, and let us start with the online classes. So we got into online MS Teams training for faculty members. Then I had a meeting with my student council. Then we started rolling out our the that point of time there was 4.5 weeks pending classes for that even semester. So we had done, and then in terms of practical, that hospitality is all about more on hands-on. So
Right.
when my student left last academic year, there was a 4.5 weeks classes were left for that particular semester. So all my colleagues got into some kind of video recording of their cooking classes, and as well as practical classes into service, and as well as housekeeping. So we got, and then it was a big learning for us, because till then that time this COVID-19 hit, we never experienced, or we never thought of it using this technology. But however, we are forced to use it, and we learned. And so we did a lot of cooking demonstration classes online, and then recorded one. And of course, even I did a couple of online classes for my students. So talking about last semester, we could, do whatever the pending classes. So we were thinking that, okay, it will be on maybe for a 1 month or 2 month, but we got to know that from the regulatory bodies, till further notification, all classes should be, to happen in the online. So then on that, this academic year, so what we did, Team Baksha, what we did, so we first got into Board of Studies meeting, and understood that what is required for our students. So what we did, we are not doing at the moment for current semester students, we are not doing practical classes, we are doing only theory classes. So what we did, hoping that by, when we planned in June, hoping that next 6 months we will teach only theory classes. So what we did, even semester theory also, we pulled into odd semester. So this semester, currently we are doing phase one. Phase one is a odd semester theory. Phase two is even semester theory. This academic year, actually, frankly speaking, it will, stretch for whole year, right? It's 12 months program. It's not like, unless like, traditionally it's a 8 months program. So students have to, they have to, sacrifice their holidays. Faculty, we are ready, and to extend this semester up to this academic year up to from the June to August. So that's a plan. So currently we are doing only theory. We are not handling practical subjects.
It's very nice to hear how quickly you were able to adapt, and how there was a lot of agility in the way you have described. Quickly you are taken to technology, and perhaps this is the first time the entire institution is, has come forward to take the challenge. It's very interesting to know. I would like to know now, from the students' perspective, how do you see that they have adapted to these changes? Because
Yes, see, if I'm, if I put myself into student's position, it's difficult to miss campus life, because that too, whichever program you're doing, it could be hospitality or it could be any other program. But the campus life is something which memorable for every student life. And but initially, there's lots of discussions. We would like to come back to campus, and when are you going to call us? We will follow all the protocols. Don't worry about that. We'll take care of ourselves. But however, the most important thing is, at this point of time, it's a safety,
right.
and also their physical and mental well-being. It's important for them. So I'm happy that I could convince my students, all of them, about why we have to move to online course. And there is a pros and cons always, but however, current situation will not permit them to come to campus. So on that note, my student and parents, everybody has supported, and we as a team, what we believe always that we don't want our students to miss campus life. So however, they are remote learning. So what we did, we conducted various activities. Our college is normally very hands-on. So we the course structure, which will be as per the regulation, and we teach them. Apart from that, we ensure that outside classroom learning, experiential learning, we believe that. So we do a lot of food festivals, simulations, and cultural programs, club activities, and so on and so forth. So I have asked my student council members that, okay, now let us plan for some webinars which could motivate them in getting my alumni on board. And when they, there are a lot of success story to share, and the current practicing industry professionals, our alumni, we got them in the board, and we want to share their experience, so that they know that how industry currently what problem is facing, what their prediction, how they have to get ready, okay, what they are doing it at this point of time. So initially it was a little tough, but of course, later on they all, very supportive, and they had, very, the mindset was changed to get adapted to this situation. So we have conducted various in-house competitions, though they are at home. So we asked them to come out with the hidden recipes, the forgotten, their family recipes to, to come out with a video recording of that. And then also we conducted mocktail, indigenous ingredients based on mocktails, and also bed making, towel art. So basic idea is that to, they should feel that though they are away from campus, but they are stay connected with institute, my colleagues, so that that motivation level which has to, maintain. So on that note, we had a tremendous support from students, parents, and my colleagues.
Yes, I think personally I've seen it happening because, as I said, I follow your college and very closely and all the activities. It's amazing how you have built up this connect, as you said, which will keep them motivated. And also, I think there is a bonding also happening among students through all these activities.
Yes.
You had mentioned about industry, and I would like to take this point forward a little bit. From Welcome Group now, when let's say when the students get placed or when the industry requirements are changing in today's scenario, do you see any curricular changes coming in for these students in terms of whether it is in culinary arts or hotel administration and management, because you have various protocols coming in about sanitization, and this might continue for long. So how are you handling these things?
Oh, definitely, ma'am. When you talk about, Vaksha's USP, I just connect with that. Not because of this pandemic, we need to update curriculum or add something, but otherwise, we are under Institute of Eminence University, that is Manipal Academy of Higher Education. And if you see that Vaksha was the first college to offer a degree program. We've been in the higher education field, in the hospitality and culinary almost about 35 years. So with rich experience, always we believe that, we need to constantly upgrade our curriculum. But having, specifically when you're talking about COVID-19, definitely the first and foremost, we have, decided to get all the industry professional and expertise to, talk about what is it, uncertainty, how they have to prepare for the uncertainty. Now, to inbuilt in curriculum, definitely, what all things need to be included. We are talking about so much changes happen in hygiene and, sanitation part. But however, this industry, every hotels were practicing it. It is normal practice. Of course, there will be little refinement in that, but otherwise, nobody has, compromised earlier hygiene standard. Because of COVID-19, it is becoming more stricter, but not like that. But there will be some changes in the process industry also. We constantly upgrading, when we, talk to our students about what is happening in and around the world, and what industry is doing. So on that note, we are, making sure that the students should not miss the latest things, which is what is happening. We always in our curriculum, we have one module every, let's say the current first years are going through 5 theory subjects. So in that, every subject, there will be one module on, always on talking about the current trends. So on that, we have a flexibility being to be university. So we can talk about what is current, requirement, right? So when 2008, how the economy, got badly hit, and then how it is revived. That is also could be one of the module in that. So we are doing it, and definitely there'll be a latest edition of what is it come to play on because of this COVID-19. That which is will be talking about all the module leaders. For example, if I teach food production, I talk about what is happening in the kitchen, what are the parameters have changed, how the protocols have redefined. Similarly, F&B service, similarly housekeeping, in the front office, how you receive the guests, what need to be done. So all my faculty are constantly addressing this to students. Of course, if you suggest me what need to be included because of COVID-19, we need to constantly focus on, first of all, physical and mental well-being of our students. That could be a area which
Right.
need to be focused, because the mindfulness, it's very important at this stage. So we need to, if I would love to add that is in the module, the physical and mental well-being, which how they have to, one supposed to take care of their, health and, physical and the mental health.
Definitely, sir, because this is something that is affecting the families also. And since students are studying from home, I think that's a very important thing. One more point which I would like to ask you is your journey itself, which is so inspirational. When I
Thank
read
you.
about you, I was very happy to see that, you are heading an institution which is like an exemplary institution in the country, which is industry driven, and the way you have come up could be inspiring many more. So could you please tell us about yourself?
Yeah, no, it's very interesting. I've shared on many occasions, lots of, whenever people are, are talking about to share my journey, it's very, I just did my BSc, nutrition and food service management dietetics. And actually, I was born in Vellore, brought up in Coimbatore, and I was supposed to pursue textile engineering. Prior to that, I want to pursue BSc chemistry, wherein I specialize, how to, do that, the particularly in textile industry. I want to go for specializing in the field of what you call it, how to do the dyeing. So, but unfortunately, I could not pursue my chemistry, so I went and landed in the taking up course on BSc nutrition dietetics. So you have two options. It's either you can go to the hospitality, or you can specialize in clinical nutrition. But however, I decided to move to hotels. So then I went and did my catering from IHM Chennai. Subsequently started working with Taj group of hotels, that is Taj Coromandel. I spent almost 6.5 years there. It was a very whatever I am today because of the training which I got into Taj and the mentorship which I got into during my tenure. Now, coming to academics part, I never thought of it that I will, opt a teaching job, but I don't know, maybe with God's blessing, this area was, sometime I was thinking that why can't I try for my teaching job? So I thought, let me try for 2 years teaching. Then if I need to come back to industry, I'll, go back to industry. So somehow God made me to stay for almost close to 21 years. Now, Vaksha is always special for me because I started my career as a faculty and rose to principal. And I had a lot of opportunity to prove myself, and with support of my, my previous bosses, and they always given empowerment. So right from the, as in faculty, I don't want to restrict myself with a job description what is given to me. But I always want to do something much more what my area of specialization. So on that note, lots of opportunity was given to me, starting from organizing various food festivals, getting expertise, and organizing cornell program. So it's all, it's not part of your job profile that point of time, but when you had, given empowerment, and people had a lot of, trust and faith in you, so that's how I started, getting a lot of expertise and getting involved myself beyond, class hours. We have attached hotels, so I had launched almost 4 times. We have specialty restaurant and coffee shop. Besides my teaching, I have launched a menu for twice for a specialty restaurant, twice for a coffee shop, and also I used to do weekend dinner buffet with my students. The basic idea is that the academic setup, when you come, a lot of people will think that okay, you're from industry, you're gone to academics, so you don't want to do hard work. I don't like that part because teaching is, it's an art, and it's up to individual how people are taking this professional. So what I did, so I used to encourage my students to be with me in the evening, besides class what they have to attend in daytime. So they come with me, and then we will do a lot of weekend dinner buffet. That was a big learning for them, and I could share my expertise with them. So the more you share, the more you learn. And so my idea is to constantly, nobody should brand you, you're a pure academician. Today you are in academics, tomorrow you should be able to manage hotel kitchen also. So that is how you need to be constantly in touch with your skills, upgrade yourself, what is happening in and around industry. So it's very important. So lots to share. It may go on 1 hour to talk about my journey, but however, the great support which I got from my students and the parents and my leadership team, that is how whatever I am today. And what my success, will, I would like to, it's not individual, it is a, contribution of all my well-wishers and my students and my, of course, my family.
That's really great to hear, sir, the way you summarized it. And just one last point I will ask you. Two or three things which you mentioned from your journey is hard work and being connected with the industry. I think being connected with the industry applies to many academicians today in India, as you may be aware, not only for this industry, but for various industries. And the notion that academics is, something different from the industry also has to go in the meantime. Just one last point I would like to ask you is your message to the students who enter into this industry, the hospitality industry, with a lot of passion, with creativity, with dreams. And then on the other side, we know it is definitely hard to, to
Correct.
go through that path. It is not like day before yesterday, or rather yesterday, sorry, you had this chefs International Chefs Day, and I was watching the first speaker. She was narrating her journey, how difficult and how challenging it is.
Yes.
So what would be your message to present students and those who are aspiring to enter the industry?
No, my message would be, for the aspiring students as well as the current students which taken up this course. Now, nothing to worry about because of this COVID-19, what is happening currently in industry. This is the only one professional, field which will give you, added advantages of, wherever, whichever field you want to excel. For example, I'm generally talking about the course which our students are going through, who are already has taken this or who wants to, aspiring students. We teach them about how to, it's kind of complete kind of finishing school. Besides teaching the core operational areas of food production, housekeeping, front office, and F&B service, plus other supporting, modules like business mathematics, communications, and financial management, accounting. But this is a complete all-round well-developed program. So the sky is the limit. Today we are talking about alternate career options. Yesterday one of my student, the session one, the speaker was Chef Anahita Gustapi. She started a career in a hotel, and then she moved to work in a restaurant. She started in a five-star hotel as a management trainee. Then she went and worked in the Michelin star restaurant. Today she is into hospital catering. So I'm just giving in one example. So the students who are currently taking up this course, nothing to worry. We will come back to regular business. People are not going to stop traveling. People are not going to stop eating. And this is only one field which always the ever shine industry, if you call it me. You are in a right you are in a right time and right program. Every crisis there is an opportunity for you to innovate something new. So as your budding hospitality professionals or culinary professionals, you have a lot of chances to think how you can, if you put yourself into next, say, let's say 10 years down the line, I want to be a leader in hospitality or culinary industry, what I would do, because nobody has predicted COVID-19. Nobody has predicted earlier about, how this Uber and Swiggy, Zomato, these come in the business process as a disruption. Basically, you have to ready to face a lot of uncertainty. We are training you as a business manager. So not only exclusively for hospitality and culinary, as a complete business manager. So we talk about dining etiquette, we talk about grooming, and we teach you on the core area. So it's a overall well developed program. So the sky is the limit. You don't need to worry about industries at the moment. It is going a lot of crisis, but however it will bounce back. And you see 2023 industry which with the new innovations, so much of technology will come in, but however it is not going to replace. This is only one industry with human touch is required.
Right.
Okay, I may get lot of technology in place, but when you walk into the my hotel or restaurant, now the warmth which I extend you, the way I acknowledge you, robo cannot tell you, right, how you feeling, what you do, but that will be artificial. It may have, you can have a converse with a robo, but however the human touch is very important. So nothing to worry. My advice would be take this in a challenge and put yourself into as a business manager what you would like to do 10 years down the line. Looking at this, there may be another uncertainty times which we never know, but how you prepare yourself. So at the moment, my advice would be you need to remember a couple of things. One is that try and learn something new skills. Why people have to hire you? What is your uniqueness, right? What is your USP, right? One is skill set. Talking about there are 35,000 students are graduating on an average in a year from hospitality and culinary industry, from the academics. So if 600 management trainee positions are there across, pan India, so how you place yourself, right? What is your uniqueness about that? So you need to have a special skills. You need to be top with the knowledge what is happening in industry, and also right attitude. The 90% is your attitude, because people are ready to take you even your shortfall of little bit of skill set and knowledge, but however attitude it's play a major role. And your parents cannot give you that. The only thing, it has to come within. Where I'm going wrong, how I'm connecting people, how I'm conversing with people, what is it which I need to correct myself. So they have to learn themselves, right? So industry is going to bounce back, and there is a lot of scopes for every aspiring students as well as currently students who are studying, and think out of the box. And nothing is you might see that sometime whether it is doable or not, but nothing to worry. If you have confidence and determination and passion and commitments, everything will fall in place. And
Thank
not to forget your attitude.
Thank you. Thank you so much, sir. I think those are the real golden words which will really be helpful for a lot of students in this industry and also other industries. Is there anything else, sir, you would want to share?
Other thing I want to tell, the students who are currently pursuing this culinary arts or hospitality, please, start learning. It's very important for you, in the future as a future leader. You must know at least 5 to 6 regional languages, because it's very important. You need to learn our own regional language, like how you learning a regional cuisines. So
Yeah.
similarly, and then also of course today we are talking about uh, you know uh, global chefs, so you need to know additional foreign languages also. So try and capitalize this point of time besides whatever you are learning. And another thing is that how you constantly upgrade your skills, because today we are talking about specialization, super specialization. So what you learn in the college or what you're learning currently, it is just for maybe during your as a student, it's all basics. But you have to be strong in your foundations. Once your foundation is strong, then you can learn advanced level. So keep constantly touch with your skill set, and not to forget that. And the most important thing, the physical fitness, right? So the physical fitness come into the place when you are mentally fit. So make sure that at least 40 to 45 minutes you do some exercise, yoga, it's a part. And you should know what food to eat, right? Okay. And so these are the few things which I would like to tell them. And of course, any institute, anybody which you would like to choose to pursue culinary or hospitality, the most important thing, first you must check the curriculum, check the the faculty team, their experience, then check the infrastructure, right? And check the program, whether it is the program which is structured in a way whether it will create ample amount of employment opportunity for particular student, right? So today we are talking about multidisciplinary learning environment. So it's very important that the new education policy which will come into play from 2021, and it's a very amazing thing to happen in the country. I think the students who are going to join from next year onwards, I think it's a great opportunity for them. A lot of reforms has happened, but this is going to be world class education students are going to get into, because every stage they get certification, diploma and degree and honors, and that's amazing thing to happen, right? And also they have a freedom to choose their, apart from their core area, they are supposed to focus on the area of which whatever they are interested. So there are a lot of changes that happen, change for good, and I'm sure that students should have a right mindset to cope up with all this.
Yes, sir. The way you have told us about the workplace demand for skills, I think is very valuable for all the students, particularly in the coming, months and years with the kind of volatility and uncertainty. I think these words are definitely going to help them, sir. So I wish to thank you for giving your time for NSN and sharing your views and your story with us. And thanks a lot, sir. We will be in touch with your institution with the courses that are happening, and we will see if we can feature more stories from there, from your students and your faculty members as well. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, ma'am. I know my I must compliment you that the initiative which you have taken. I think it's a you are doing something which you want to give back to your society, and it's a great initiative. And I wish more success on you, that more and more students get benefit out of from the whatever which you are trying to do for the young generation. I'm sure that a lot of students are going to follow your YouTube channel, and wish you all the best
Thank
and
you.
continue to do good job. And looking forward to see you soon in Manipur.
Sure, sure. Thank you, sir. I look forward to meeting.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Thank you. Thank you.